passons pas à côté des choses simples.
It looks so tasty it has your mouth watering on the couch. Well, that's the point. But what if, behind this pretty pink, hid one of the biggest health scandals of our era? In 2015, the World Health Organization listed processed meats as carcinogenic used by the giants of the food industry.
It can induce DNA breaks, mutate cells into sort of pre-cancer cells.
We discovered that to impede or halt regulations on certain additives, food industry lobbies have been working in the shadows for decades.
You have to understand to study that
les industriels du tabac, c'est-à-dire qu'ils payent des scientifiques pour dire le contraire de ce qui est vrai.
At the heart of this strategy of influence are the scientists who collaborate
as well as the others.
How much?
I am not going.
Basically, we're trying to shoot me down or discredit me. I mean, that's what shoot down means scientifically.
These efforts to go after the scientists and to discredit the scientists is a key element of a much larger strategy to just gum up the entire policy-making process.
Between intimidation, lies, and manipulation, we will uncover proof of a worldwide strategy where hitting below the belt is allowed.
Leave now! Get the out of here!
Feeling hungry now? Then it's time to eat. Tonight, you are our guests. To find out how ham is made, we visited a factory.
Oui, Lucie, bonjour.
Oui, c'est moi. Tu peux m'ouvrir, s'il te plaît? Merci.
And one of the few to play the card of transparency. The ham on your supermarket shelves starts out like this. Big lumps of pork meat. Taste, a little vegetable stock. It all goes into a ham-shaped mold, and it's cooked. And the result? Perfectly pink, rounded slices. Have you grasped the basics? To obtain this fine ham, there's another very important step. You have to inject the meat. Factory manager Laurent Rouleau shows us. These yellow sacks contain a mixture of salt and sodium nitrite, the additive E250.
Le sel nitrité sert à assurer la conservation du jambon, à lutter contre des germes pathogènes et aussi de donner la couleur et le goût caractéristique de la charcuterie. Il va agir en donnant une coloration rosée en fait à la charcuterie.
Ham isn't natural at all. It's thanks to sodium. Otherwise, ham would be the color of roast pork. That's why food industrialists can't do without it, as a processed meats producer would confirm.
Le nitrite, c'est vraiment ça. C'est vraiment pour la couleur, parce que, je vous dis, le jambon doit être rose, la crème doit être rose, elle doit pas être brune, parce que sinon on va me dire qu'elle n'est pas fraîche ou qu'elle est, etc. Donc, en clair, je cuis une viande, ça donne un jambon gris. C'est ce qu'il faudrait faire. C'est ce qu'il faudrait faire. C'est
Pourquoi vous ne faites pas du jambon gris?
Mais parce que personne ne va l'acheter. Tout simplement, personne ne va l'acheter. Et le marché ou le consommateur n'est pas prêt à ça.
Donc pour vous, aujourd'hui, c'est vraiment un problème de couleur, en fait?
Ah ben clairement, oui. Clairement, parce que sinon, on peut saler la viande avec du sel de Guérande sans problème.
Let's sum up. The ham's pink is unnatural, health. The additive is suspected of playing a role in the development of colorectal cancer, one of the deadliest cancers in Europe. The cause? A phenomenon that takes place during digestion. It's chemical. You think you're transforming them into very dangerous substances. Nitrosamines. We went to the Netherlands to learn more about the effects of this chemical reaction on our health. To the Faculty of Medicine of Maastricht University. This is where the toxicologist Professor Theo de Kock works. Nitrosamines.
Nitrosamines are known to induce damage in the large intestine. So it can induce DNA breaks, mutate cells into sort of pre-cancer cells. And that's, of course, something that you want to prevent.
Professor de Kock notably wanted to find out what happens inside the body when we don't eat processed meat and when we eat a lot of it. To do so, he conducted an experiment with human guinea pigs. 100 grams of processed meat a day, the equivalent of 8.5 sausages or 7 slices of ham.
After 15 days, we saw that the exposure to nitrosamines was considerably increased, so it was up to between 2- and 3-fold increase as compared to the levels that we measured at start.
The researcher measured the impact on the organism of this chemical mutation of nitrites into nitrosamines. In his lab, he tested the fecal water of big processed meat eaters like Arnaud.
So what you see here is fecal water from...
happens inside the body. The researchers mixed this fecal water with the white deposit in the test tube.
Is intact, so the material stays together, but if you are exposed to nitrosamines that induce breakages of the DNA, you see this comet tail appearing. So you see that here the damage is quite extensive. So a cell like this will eventually mutate into a pre-cancer type of cell.
How long does it take for such a damage?
Well, this damage can be induced relatively quickly. So in this assay, we expose them for half an hour, and then you already... That can also happen not just in the lab here, but also...
And if we stop using them...
Of potentially several thousands of colon cancer.
That's huge. That's huge.
That's huge. Already small changes in a large population.
Thousands fewer cancers and therefore potentially fewer deaths just by suppressing nitrites.